It's one of the most controversial races in NASCAR. As the story goes, at North Wilkesboro in April 1990, NASCAR's scoring incorrectly put Brett Bodine in the lead after a caution interrupted green flag pit stops. Bodine never gave up the lead, won his first and only race. In the years that followed, both fans and opposing team members have maintained NASCAR gave him the win by mistake. But was this true? Was he really almost a full lap behind actual race winner Darrell Waltrip? In this video, we'll get to the bottom of this story of confusion.
He did not win this race, and everybody in this garage area knows that.
Brett Bodine entered the April 1990 race at North Wilkesboro winless in his first 79 Cup races. While his older brother Jeff was an established star and the 1986 Daytona 500 champion, the younger Bodine had only 5 wins in the Busch Series. At 31 years old, Brett moved to the team owned by drag racer Kenny Bernstein for the start of the 1990 season. The team had 2 wins in the past 2 years with Ricky Rudd driving and was led by crew chief Larry McReynolds. Entering the April 22nd race at North Wilkesboro, Bodine was 15th in points and had 2 top 10s in the first 6 races. The team had high expectations entering the weekend. 6 months earlier, Ricky Rudd almost won at the track, but spun with Dale Earnhardt fighting for the lead on the last lap.
As they go into turn number 1 and both of them spin!
Brett qualified only 20th fastest, but moved up through the field. The North Wilkesboro track was tough on tires, a subject that would make a big impact later in the race.
I just clocked Martin, the pole winner, and as Bob said at the earlier part of the race, there's Martin. He qualified, folks, at 19.16 seconds or something like that. He is now running 21.15 seconds, so he has slowed down 2 seconds from his qualifying speed. And that's why these guys are going to be going in to change tires, because they're slowing down so much. We mentioned they can run 175 laps on a tank of gas, but their tires just won't get adhesion for that long.
The chain of events that decided the race started on lap 154 when Brett Bodine pitted and the leaders stayed out. When a caution came out on lap 186, Bodine was running 8th and chose not to pit. The first 7 cars pitted, thus giving Brett the lead.
Brett Bodine in the number 26 Quaker State Buick owned by Kenny Bernstein that has the lead.
Bodine held the lead for the next 63 laps.
I tell you, Brett has done a good job of holding Earnhardt off, but now...
And remember, Brett did not pit. The most recent caution, he did not pit to change tires, and Dale Earnhardt did. And now Earnhardt looks like he is ready to take over the lead. They battle wheel to wheel coming out of the 4th corner, but Brett does a tremendous job holding off the challenge. There they go into the corner, rubbing paint and side by side. Earnhardt with the slight advantage coming out of the corner down the backstretch, but boy, Brett Bodine is really putting up a battle. And Dale Earnhardt finally gets by Brett after a gallant battle by Brett.
I think maybe Dale right now is on a little bit better tires than we are. He's got about 20 to 25 less laps than we did. We run good a lot longer than I thought we would on the used tires. We could probably use the caution here in about 20 to 30 laps, and then we'd be hopefully set for the rest of the race.
20.8. I mentioned earlier, and Bob Jenkins told you at the beginning of the show, that Martin qualified at 19.15 seconds, so they've slowed down about a second and a half.
He'll go inside of Brett Bodine once again. Darrell Waltrip.
By lap 290, Bodine had dropped to 4th. ESPN cameras didn't have a good view of Bodine's position on track, but did have a good view of where Darrell Waltrip was relative to Earnhardt. If Earnhardt had roughly a 7-second lead over Waltrip in 2nd, then we can assume he might have been 9 seconds ahead of Bodine in 4th by the time Brett pitted on lap 304.
Brett Bodine in.
With no speed limit on pit road, Bodine spent roughly 30 seconds from the time he entered the pits to the time he exited. Pitting under green, he lost a lap and exited the pits with Dale Earnhardt roughly 3.5 seconds behind him on track. With lap times around 21 seconds, Bodine not quite 2 laps down, that meant he was about 39 seconds behind Dale Earnhardt's position in the lead. But remember how he looked at tire fall-off. After 100 laps on his tires, Earnhardt was running a second and a half slower than he was on fresh tires. Look at how these other lap cars go past Earnhardt with their fresh tires and drive away from him. Because Brett Bodine pitted earlier than Earnhardt, he was running laps at least 1 second faster than Dale every lap until Dale pitted. Speeding up the video, we see that Dale pitted 11 laps after Brett Bodine did. Bodine may have been running a second a lap faster than Earnhardt for 11 laps. If we thought the difference between Earnhardt and Bodine before pit stops was 9 seconds, and if the pit stops and time on pit road were equal, then Bodine would have made up the gap on track with his fresh tire advantage. But even then, the pit stops were not equal. Earnhardt had a poor stop under green.
Meanwhile, here is Earnhardt, the leader, who brings the Goodrich Chevrolet on the pit road. Now, they will change all 4 tires on the car number 3. The defending champion of the First Union 400 crew, Will Lynn, David Smith, Kurt Sheldon under the crew, going to work on the right side of the car. The jack down on the right side, they come around 12 seconds, 13 seconds, there's a clock now, ticking away. There goes Mark Martin's car by Earnhardt. Left side tire is off. Sheldon puts the left front on. 21 seconds, the clock still ticking now. Lug nuts are on, the jack is dropped, Earnhardt is down, 24.8 seconds, 4 tires, and back to turn 1.
Even in 1990, a 24-second pit stop was not good. 2 laps later, Darrell Waltrip pitted, and his stop was nearly 4 seconds faster than Earnhardt's.
Now it's out of here, 20.9, although they had some trouble, still a great pit stop for the Tide crew. Boy, it was 20.9 seconds for a 4-tire change. You can't ask for better than that from the Darrell Waltrip crew.
Then on lap 320, about 5 laps after Earnhardt pitted, Kenny Wallace crashed in turn 1, brought out the caution. ESPN cameras showed the leaders go past Wallace. Bodine was first, Earnhardt second, and Waltrip in third. But the pace car incorrectly picked up Dale Earnhardt as a leader. They assumed because he had the lead by such a large margin before pit stops, he must have been the leader after them. What NASCAR failed to realize was that by pitting before everyone else, Bodine was able to run more laps on fresh tires and overcome his deficit by having a much faster car than Earnhardt for 11 laps. Because of the pace car's error, Bodine was able to go around another lap, pull up to the back of the field, and in effect have a 1-lap lead over Earnhardt without anyone realizing it. NASCAR left the caution flag out for 18 laps to sort out the running order. While Bodine was in a lap by himself, Larry McReynolds brought Bodine into the pits again for fresh tires, and he returned to the track still ahead of the pace car, and still on a lap by himself. NASCAR figured out their error and told most of the field to pass the pace car and catch up to Bodine. McReynolds' decision to pit while Bodine was on a lap of his own was perfect strategy, and let Brett get tires about 5 laps newer than his competitors without losing a spot. When the race restarted, Bodine led the rest of the way and got his first win.
Here he comes off the 4th corner. He's going to do it. Brett Bodine wins the First Union 400.
Darrell Waltrip passed Earnhardt and finished second. He maintained that Bodine was on the tail end of the lead lap and not actually the leader. He protested the finish, but was denied.
I went to Bill France. I walk over to Bill and I'm almost on my knees. I'm saying, Bill, he did not win this race, and everybody in this garage area knows that. And Mr. France, in his divine wisdom, took his cigarette out of his mouth, put his arm around me, and he said, DW, leave that boy alone. That's the first race he's ever won, and you're going to win a lot more races.
Immediately after the race, drivers who were unaware of what happened maintained the win was a mistake. Dale Earnhardt said Darrell won the race and I was second. No way Bodine won. Waltrip's crew chief Jeff Hammond said everyone knows who won except the officials. In recent years, we've seen the short pitting strategy work at tracks with tire fall-offs, such as Richmond and Darlington. The car that pits first makes up time over the competitors by virtue of getting new tires and running faster for longer, even if it's just for a few laps. In 1990, Brett Bodine pulled the same strategy, ran for 11 laps on fresh tires compared to his rivals, and won his only Cup race with 100% certainty, whether anyone realized it or not.